In this video, I'm going to be covering 18 awesome things that you need to do if you've gotten a Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 or the Classic. I am going to actually do more than 18 things, but there's so much to cover that I just figured let's go in depth in this video covering everything, how to get music hooked up to your Bluetooth headphones and running from your watch without even needing your phone, even how you can use Bigsby to do all the different commands you want on your watch completely hands-free, doing custom replies to notification text messages, doing things like sleep tracking, health tracking, exercises, and more. We've got so much to cover, so let's get into it. Hey everyone, my name is Jeff, and on this channel I do all sorts of different smartwatch reviews, tech tips, tutorials, and more. But today we are talking all about the Galaxy Watch 4 and the Watch 4 Classic, and this video is action-packed with all sorts of information, tips, tricks, and tutorials as we're deep diving into how you can get the most out of using this watch. I understand this is a long video and your time is precious, so I have done the work and left timestamps for you down in the description below so you can jump around to wherever is most convenient for you in this video. But honestly, this whole video is just packed with information, so feel free to use those timestamps. And hey, if you appreciate those timestamps, smash the like button on this video because it helps this video out as well as this channel. This video is picking up from my previous videos where I have unboxed and set up the watches to get them synced to like my phone, or if you're hooking it up to whatever device. So if you haven't done that yet, watch those videos first. They're going to be linked down in the description below. But from this point in the video, let's go through some fun different features. The first thing I would recommend you do is install Bigsby, which is the voice assistant on the watch. At the time of this recording, Bigsby is the only voice assistant that you can use with this watch. Google Assistant is supposed to be coming, and you'll be able to choose which voice assistant you want to use. But as of right now, Bigsby is your only option. And it doesn't come set up automatically when you start up the watch and you get it installed, but it is very easy to set up. I just swiped up from the bottom of my screen and that displays all the apps that are installed on my watch. And you want to look for this little Bigsby icon, which is right there. I'm going to tap on that, and if this is your first time using Bigsby, then it'll give you all the different setup options, and it's just real quick and easy. Once you get Bigsby set up, you can essentially use the watch hands-free if you do want to turn on the voice wake-up feature, and that allows you to do everything that you can essentially do on the watch, but you can do it with your voice. So you can have it start a workout, you can have it tell you the weather, you can have it if you've got a smart home and you've got like a robot vacuum, or if you've got your lights hooked up, you can have it turn those things on and off. It even tells you here you can set a timer, what's the weather, you can add an event to your schedule. So I've been using Bigsby with the watch for quite a while now, and I'm very happy with it. It's very useful. And essentially to activate it, once you've got Bigsby turned on, you just press and hold this top button. What's the weather in Orlando, Florida?
In Orlando, Florida, it is sunny and 82 degrees right now.
So it will display all that information. Bigsby will also talk back to you, it does take a couple seconds for it to respond, so it's not instantaneous, but just using the voice feature is very nice. Again, to get it to work without having to press that button, you're going to want to turn on the voice wake up, and you can actually hold down the button and then tell it that you want to turn on voice wake up, and from that point, anytime you say hey and then the name of that voice assistant, which I'm not going to say because I don't want to set everybody's watches off here, it'll then activate and then do whatever command you're asking. Now again, I went into the Bigsby app, and if I scroll all the way to the bottom, I can actually see settings. And if I go into settings, I have the option here where I can turn that voice wake on or off. I also have different languages and voice style that I can choose. So let's just jump in here because I know people sometimes ask what languages are available. So you can kind of see here that we've got all these different options. And let's jump back. We also can change the voice style. So we have Stephanie, John, Julia, or Lisa that you can choose from as far as voices. And then if you don't want the audible response, you also have that option here where you can do hands-free only. In hands-free mode, Bigsby will respond by voice when you wake Bigsby up with connected Bluetooth device. So you kind of can choose what you want as far as settings for Bigsby. The other thing is controlling the volume of Bigsby. If Bigsby is too loud for you or not loud enough, what you can do, I'm not sure why they don't allow you to control the volume of Bigsby here, because when I use my bezel, it just kind of takes me up and down. But if you go into the Galaxy or the Samsung Wear app, I was looking under the watch settings. And then under watch settings, you can go to things like sound and vibration. And if you go to volume, under volume, you've got like your ringtone volume, media, but then you'll also see here that you've got Bigsby's voice that you can control the volume as well. And real quick, as we do in all the videos on this channel, we've hidden Tinker. He is our little hidden robot, looks just like this guy on my shirt, and he's gonna briefly pop up somewhere during this video. If you happen to spot Tinker popping up, let me know the timestamp or the amount of time into this video that you spotted Tinker popping up, along with your best comment, and be the first person to do that in the comments section, and I'll put your name on our Tinker Forward Hall of Fame page, as well as give you a shout out in one of the future videos on this channel. Okay, so if you live in cold weather climates like we do here in Wisconsin, in the winter, you're probably going to be wearing some gloves, and with the Classic, you still have the physical bezel that you can use to rotate and go through your different tiles. But as far as touching the screen, I can't do anything because I'm wearing gloves. The watch itself does have a touch sensitivity that you can turn on or off. And now that we have Bigsby activated, I can go into the settings and turn on or off that sensitivity. Otherwise, I can just talk to Bigsby. Turn on touch sensitivity.
Touch sensitivity is now on.
So now with that being turned on, if I'm gonna like scroll up to go see all my different apps and stuff, I can do different functions like this by using my gloves because I've got the touch sensitivity turned on. You can also turn off the touch sensitivity as well. And be sure to stick around till the end of the video, as I'm gonna tell you about the SOS feature that's built into this watch. What happens if you accidentally activate it? Does it call the police? Stay tuned. So next is going to be changing your watch face, and you can see the current watch face that I have installed. At any time, what you can just do is take your fingers and press and hold down on your watch face, and that is going to allow you to do a couple of things. One, you can customize the different features of your existing watch face, so I can actually change the color of the hands. I can just tap on it and you know, I can change backgrounds, and it just kind of gives me all different options as far as customizing my existing watch. If I long press and hold down that watch face, it also shows me other options for other watch faces. This one I really like. It shows you everything from battery level to like stress, how many steps I've gotten in, as well as the weather throughout the day. So you can just simply switch watch faces by long pressing on the screen, holding down, and then just kind of rotating, and I can use the bezel as well to kind of rotate through different watch faces. Now you'll notice there's a bunch of watch faces on here, but after that I've kind of run out. I can click on the More Watch Faces area on the watch, and this is essentially taking me into the Google Play Store. And then from here, I can kind of see results for watch faces, and it just has all sorts of them. I prefer to actually also surf and choose watch faces from my phone. And so in the Galaxy Wear app, I'm just on the main dashboard screen. Right here, you've got watch faces, and you can see all sorts of different options, everything from like most recent. So these are the ones that we were scrolling through on my watch. You have classic ones, you have graphical ones. There's a whole bunch of different options, informative. This was digital dashboard that I was just kind of showing you. And you find one that you really like. The premium analog was the first one that I was showing you. And then what's kind of cool is you can tap on your device or your phone, you can tap on that, and then immediately that's going to update that watch face on your watch itself. So like I could do analog dashboard, and we'll give it a second here, but now it has changed. And then if I wanted to customize that watch face, I can just hold down on the screen, and then I can go to customize here and customize it. So the watch features a whole bunch of cool and very useful tools, such as you can turn it into a flashlight. It's got a water lock on it. You can also have it find your phone. A lot of these can be accessed very easily by just pulling down from the top of the screen, and this accesses your quick settings or your shortcuts. And we'll just run through these real quick. So you've got your bedtime mode, where if we activate that, it's going to dim down your screen and make things a little bit more pleasing for nighttime. There's an area where you can power it on or off very quickly. You can also turn on or off the touch sensitivity if you want to do that. And you'll notice that I'm just swiping back to the right to go back a menu. All the major settings that you want to customize in the watch can be found under the gear icon here for settings. If you do want to put the watch into always on screen mode, that's going to be this watch button down here. Now always on display is turned on, and this is great, but I will say it is going to deplete your battery a lot quicker. The always on display is actually going to give you a different display than your main watch face screen. So this is what the display looks like for whatever timeout mode I have. Now if I'm going to cover this up for a couple of seconds, that would essentially be like the screen turning off. This is the always on display screen that we have, which is a little bit dimmer. It's not using quite as much battery, but still it is sucking up battery, which is why if you turn the always on display on, just expect it to kill your battery a lot quicker. When I tap the button, it is then going to bring the screen back to its normal operating look. So I'm going to turn that back off for now, but that always on display is kind of nice if you always like having a watch face or information that you can look at. The watch can also notify you in different ways. So you can completely mute it, you can have it do sound notifications, or it'll just vibrate. And then I was talking to you about that flashlight. So we've got the flashlight right here, and this is great if you're going into a dark room or something. I mean, you could pull out your phone, but it's just so convenient to have it on your watch. And a lot of times I'll even just tell Bigsby to turn on the flashlight, and then I've got a portable flashlight right on my wrist. So underneath this, we can also see other quick settings. So we've got the do not disturb. You can change your brightness of your screen right from this one, which is kind of nice. We've got battery saver mode. So if you put your watch into battery saver mode, essentially things like using Bigsby are not going to work. It'll tell me right now can't talk to Bigsby while in power saving mode, but power saving mode is going to extend the life of your battery, which I can also see up top here. It has the battery percentage. So you make the choice of when turning on battery saver mode might be appropriate for you. There's also the theater mode button, which is this clapboard, so you can have it turn on now, and then you can choose the duration. So if you want it on for an hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours, and essentially it's going to mute your notifications, it's going to turn off the always on display, any other functions like raise to your wrist to wake it, system sounds, alarm sounds, timer sounds are all going to be silenced so that you're not disturbing other people in the theater that you are in. In addition to that, you can turn on or off your Wi-Fi, which again, you have Wi-Fi turned on, it's going to be eating more battery. If you're going to be taking a shower or going swimming, you probably want to turn on the water lock setting, and this is going to put the little watermark on the screen, but it also makes the screen inoperable. So if you're touching it or if the water is bouncing off of it, it's not going to be going into all sorts of weird different settings. To take it back out, you just hold down this top button for 2 seconds and it's going to take it out of the water lock mode. And it's even telling you here it's ejecting all the water out of the screen. So there's also things like you can put it into airplane mode. You can choose whether or not you want to turn on the Bluetooth for headphones. And then this is where you also have the Find My Phone feature. I can just tap on that. Finding my phone, there it is. So very useful and convenient when I can't figure out what the heck I did with my phone. And then lastly, we have location. So again, if you wanted to always know where your location is, and that's important if you want to use the SOS feature, which I'll show you here, to notify somebody if you are having an emergency or if you did like an accidental fall. Now at any time you can add more shortcuts or quick settings. So like if you want to use the NFC payments on here, touch sensitivity, or control the volume, you can go into volume, and then it gives you that option right here where you've got ringtone, media. Oh, it actually does give you a Bigsby volume right here that you can control. So that is also something very convenient. If you do want to reorder any of these quick settings, what you can just do is hold down on those. You can hit the minus button to get rid of it in your shortcuts here, or you can rotate them. So I can grab like this particular watch, and then I can move it. Why aren't you moving right now? There we go. I can move it over to the position that I actually want, and then when you've got them all the way you want, you just hit your button, and now I've got the order of my quick settings set up and ready to go. So let's get you your apps installed on your watch, and you can just scroll up from the bottom of your screen. This brings up all the apps that you currently have installed on your watch, and if you don't have very many, or if you want more, go to the Google Play Store. So once you get into the Google Play Store, the first app the first setting it has here is apps on your phone. And this is going to bring up all the apps that you currently have installed on the device that is synced up to your watch. So if you want to also get the counterparts to these apps on your watch, you can just find one that you want, such as like this Google camera. I've got all these Google ones. I'm using a Google Pixel 3 phone. So if there's something like Google Camera that I wanted to install, from this point I can just install. I can also get all the information about that app and then see screenshots, ratings, things like that. So with that being said, you can go through and install all the different apps that are already on your phone. You can search for specific apps. You can see featured apps. The watch faces we kind of talked about already. Things like streaming audio. I like the essential watch apps area because it does give you a lot of things that I've already got installed or that I use quite a bit for your apps. Now, once you have installed your apps, as an example here, like I've installed Spotify, if you long press down on the apps, this is where you would uninstall any apps that you want. And keep in mind, you have storage space on your watch, but the more music and apps and images and things like that you put on it, you could fill all that up. So if you do need to uninstall apps, that's how you're going to do that. The other thing is, if you long press down on any of these apps, you can actually reorder them. So like when I installed Spotify, it was really down below, but I use that quite a bit, so I like having it up top. And then I will be able to see that right away when I go into my apps if I want to access it. So let's talk about customizing the tiles on your Galaxy 4. So as you turn the bezel, this takes you through the different tiles or instances that you have set up on your watch. You can customize these. So everything from like, it's got my health metrics. It's showing here one of the apps I installed, iHeartRadio, as a tile, all my different exercises. You can go through all these by just moving the bezel. If you move the bezel all the way to the last tile, this gives you the area where you can add tiles. And then it gives you all sorts of different options. So like Buds controller, calendar. You can add a specific contact. So like if I contact my wife quite a bit, I can go into contacts and then add a contact and have her contact information as one of my tiles, so that if I want to send her a quick message by text, or if I want to give her a quick phone call, she's going to just pop up in one of my tiles. So you kind of pick and choose what you want to add as far as different tiles. But just to show you an example here, if we go in and let's say I was going to add the blood oxygen instance, I can go ahead and just tap that, and now this is added to my tiles. If I go ahead and long press on the whatever tile it is, I can delete that tile, or if I long press and then long press again, I can reorder these tiles to whatever order I want. So if I like checking my blood oxygen level quite a bit, I can make that like one of my first tiles. Or if I want my exercises to be like my very first tile, I can reorder that tile to put it wherever I want. Let's put like exercises right up front here, so that as soon as I go into my tiles, that is the first thing I am going to see when I am rotating through my watch, and then bam, I can go in there and get whatever I need. So the Galaxy Watch 4 is a smartwatch, but it also does a ton of different health tracking. In order to take advantage of all the health tracking, you are going to need to install Samsung Health. So if you go onto your device and you search for Samsung Health, you're going to want to go ahead and install this app. And if I go ahead and open up this app, it may go through a couple of different setup steps with you just to ask to set up a profile. But essentially, once you've got that set up, that's when it's going to show you all the different things like your steps, your daily activity, exercises. You can log food. It'll also show you all of your sleep information. And, you know, sleep, what's cool is it doesn't just show you the amount of time that you've slept, but you can see all of your sleep details. So it'll show you your different sleep stages when you were awake, REM, light sleep. It'll also tell you your blood oxygen level during sleep. And then it will also monitor your snoring, which is kind of crazy because it'll actually take recordings of you snoring at night, and it'll kind of show you when that was happening. So just crazy, crazy information. And this is all stuff that you can set up inside the Health app. And it'll also show you all this information on the watch. If you go into the tiles, which I was showing you before, you can customize them so you can see like your workouts. Here I've got my health metrics. It shows everything from steps, calories, active time, and I can go into more details on that. I can also see all of my sleep information. I can tap on that and see all that more detailed information on the watch, such as my sleep stages, awake, REM, light. I only got a minute of deep sleep last night. I guess I didn't get that great of a night of sleep. And then you can also do things like take on-the-fly SpO2 readings. So you'll see here, I just took one, but I'll just show you an example so you can go to measure. And then it's going to have you stay as still as you can. And then it is right now using the sensors on the back of the watch to take the blood oxygen level reading. And it's cool that you can do this in under a minute. The fact that it will take an on-the-fly SpO2 reading is very convenient. It's going to get to the end here, and then it's going to give all the final information. So we see 96%. And it even shows you your beats per minute, 69 beats per minute. So that is your SpO2 reading that you can take on the fly. Something else you can do is it'll measure your body composition. And again, I just did this, but I will show you an example of how you're going to do this. So you can go into measure, and it's going to confirm things like your weight, and then it wants you to take your middle and ring fingers, place them on the sensor keys, and then keep touching the keys, and it needs you to hold really still. I've noticed that don't touch or raise your arms away from your body. Stay still. If you move around too much, just like right now, then it kind of yells at you, which can be kind of frustrating. So make sure your watch is on tightly, and I'm going to keep touching the keys, and we're just trying to make sure that it's making a good connection here as it's sending its signal to measure my body composition. Now, I will say I've used this a couple of times, and the measurements seem to be kind of all over the place. It will then give you a readout of what it says here as far as your weight, skeletal muscle, fat mass, body fat, BMI, body water composition, and I guess you can get all these readings. I guess I just don't know how accurate this information really is as far as health stats to keep track of. I know it does also give you information where it says that, you know, right when you're starting up using the body composition, that this should not be used for diagnosing medical purposes. So I guess take the body composition readings for what it's worth. Something else that is available on the watch is the ECG. And in order to do the ECG, you can record the ECG to monitor your heart health. To enable this feature, install Samsung Health Monitor on your phone, and then you can click this link to go into the app information. However, this is something that's available in the Galaxy Store. Now, I am using a Google Pixel phone, not a Samsung phone, so I do not have the option where I can download this app to show you how this is going to work. And this is not the Samsung Health app, this is the Samsung Health Monitor app. So that is a limiting feature that I don't have because I don't have a Samsung phone. So just something to know if that's something you're considering and you don't have a Samsung device. So you might want to be like me and track your workouts from the watch, and there's actually a tile for your workouts. This is going to be it. So you have shortcuts to walking, sit-ups, cycling. If you long press and hold down on the screen, you can actually edit these, where you can take these off, and then you can actually go in and pick out different workouts that you might want to replace them with. You can also click on more. Actually, let's get out of this real quick. If we go to more, this shows you other selected workouts that it currently has on the watch, and you can kind of pick out which ones you want. In addition to these workouts that you see here on the watch, there's actually over 100 different workouts that are available that you can add onto the watch to use. So if I go to add, you'll see there's a whole list of them here. Everything: arm curls, front raises, Pilates, pull-ups. But in addition to these that are on your watch, there's even more available on your phone. So you can click the Add from Phone button, and it says go ahead and check your phone, and that actually brings up the area right on my phone where it shows all the different exercises. I mean, it starts at A with aerobics, and you just go all the way down. Everything: martial arts, mountain biking, Pilates, skiing, snorkeling, soccer. In case you're interested here, let's run through these real quick. So you can kind of see all the ones that are on this page. You can see all the ones that are on this page here. And you can go through these at your leisure, but you could always pause the screen too if you want to look just a little bit more closely at what's all available. But these are all the different exercises that you have to choose from. And so if there's something I wanted to add, like say yoga, I can go ahead and add that. And now if I go back to my watch and I go back to the tiles here, and I was looking at the very end or somewhere on here, I would think it would have added yoga. There it is. So yoga has now been added to my watch. And then if there's a workout that I want to start, if we go back to that tile, let's say I was going to go for a walk, I can just go right into that exercise. That is going to start up that exercise, and you can actually see that we're in the exercise now. I can scroll down to see all the current information, like even my heartbeat as I'm working out. While I'm in that workout, if I swipe to the right, I've got the option here to start a new workout, pause, or I can finish. So let's go ahead and finish this particular workout, and then it's going to give me like kind of the overview of the entire workout. It'll even show you a map of where you were for that particular workout. So just some examples of some of the different things you can do with the workouts on this watch. So let's talk about sounds and vibrations that your watch can do. If you're in the Galaxy Wear app and you go to watch settings, you'll see here the sound and vibration, and under sound and vibration, so you can kind of choose if you want the watch to make noise or if you just want it to vibrate. And if you do want it to make noise, you can control the volume. You can go into all these same settings on the watch, but essentially for your ringtones, you can control the ringtone volume. You can also control your media volume, notification system, and then Bigsby. But if we go back, so then under, say, ringtones, you've got all these different ringtones that you can choose from as far as what you want for different notifications. If you're getting some sort of a ringtone. And then in addition to that, for notifications, same thing, you can choose something different. So every time you get some sort of a notification on your watch, you can choose from some of these as well. So if you want to set your watch to something maybe a little bit less intrusive and just have it vibrate, you also have options for vibration, and you can change here if you just want a short vibration, if you want a longer vibration duration, or if you want it to be strong intensity or light intensity. I definitely want to make sure that I'm feeling some sort of notification if I'm getting it, so I like to keep it on the stronger. And then for notification vibration, again, you have different options. Let me see if I can just put the microphone by some of these different options. So we'll see if this is actually going to pick up, but we've got things like basic. We can do simple. You've got zig. You've got zag. Tap. So for starters, we've got basic, simple, zig, zag, zig-zig. We've got like a tap, knock, heartbeat, bounce, and then dubstep and gallop. So you can kind of choose what notification vibration you want that's going to best fit you. So let's talk about notifications on this watch. You're going to want to get the notifications, so you're going to want to make sure that that is turned on, and you can actually do that under settings. So again, by going to settings, you'll see notifications, and then it says here, show phone notifications on watch. So show alerts even when your phone's in use. I actually did not have that turned on, and if I was using my phone, I wasn't actually getting those alerts because it was set to show alerts when phone is not in use. But I actually changed that to this show alerts even when phone is in use. So you definitely want to make sure that that is selected. You can also mute those notifications on your phone if you want. You can also turn on do not disturb. There's notification indicator. Show the indicator on the watch face for unread notifications. So if you have a notification that you haven't read yet, you're going to get a little red dot that's going to pop up on the left side of the screen. You can also have it read notifications out loud when headphones are connected. Turn on screen, turn on the watch screen when notifications are received. Turn on for new apps. Automatically turn on notifications for newly installed apps. So you can also change all these settings on your phone, but just to show you an example here of the notifications that you get. So by turning the bezel, I can see any latest notifications I've gotten. This is a message that I just sent to myself, but I wanted to show you that this is how it's going to display. And then you get all these different options to respond. So you can respond using the built-in microphone and then just speak what you want the message to be back. You can draw out your message. So as you actually draw the letters, it'll actually write them out. So if I was going to say, hey, back, you know, I can do that. To me, this is still kind of slow. I really like using the microphone, but you have those options as well. If I was going to like do some sort of an exclamation mark, and then I can send that back to whoever is messaging me, and then you can just see the whole conversation popping up. Now, in addition to that, you've got the options here where you can do different emojis. You pick your category that you want and then kind of choose what emoji you want to send, and you can send that off. The other thing that's nice is there are keyboards available. Now, the keyboard that comes standard set up on the watch is Samsung's, and it's not this one. This is the Gboard from Google, and I really like using this because you have all the letters on here. So I'm going to show you how to get this installed on your watch. So if you're on your Galaxy Watch 4, you're probably going to get a default keyboard that looks like this. This is Samsung's keyboard, and it's okay. It's not my favorite to use. I enjoy using Google's keyboard just a little bit more. So you can easily install Google's keyboard to help with your texting, responding to messages. To do that, you're going to want to grab your device that you've got your watch linked to. In this case, it's my Google Pixel 3. And you want to go into your Google Play Store. And then from this point up top, you're going to want to go and search for Gboard. So I am going to go ahead and search for Gboard, and you'll see here that it's the first one that pops up. It is the Google keyboard, and you're going to want to go ahead and install that keyboard. In addition to that, it says right underneath this, while we're on this app page, it says install on devices or installed on devices. And I've got my Samsung watches here, my Galaxy 4 and my Galaxy 4 Classic, and I actually installed the Gboard on both of those watches. So once you do that, then you can jump back to your Samsung Wear app, and then under here, now that you've got the Gboard loaded, you can go to Watch Settings. Then under Watch Settings, you can go to General. I know this is kind of a lot of work, but the good news is once you set up the Gboard, you don't have to do it again unless you want to switch back to Samsung's keyboard. And under General, you'll see under Input, we have Samsung keyboard, and then under that, keyboard list and default. So you can go to that, and right here under default keyboard, it says Samsung. We're going to click on that. I'm going to change that to Gboard, and it says, do you really want to turn on the selected keyboard? And I'm going to say OK. And now my default keyboard is my Gboard. So now magically, if I jump over to my watch, the Google keyboard has loaded, and I can use that to respond to my text messages. So something else that's convenient on the watch when you're responding to different text messages is even underneath all of those options, you've also got an option here for quick responses. And you're going to see yes, yes, please, okay. But what's really cool is you can actually go into the settings and you can create your own custom responses. So like I put this one in here, I'm on a run, I'll call you back in a bit. But you can actually add whatever custom quick replies you want so that if I'm on a run, I can just hit that, and that's going to very quickly respond to whoever it is that I'm messaging, letting them know, hey, I'm on a run and I'll call you back. So in order to add those custom replies, those quick responses, the easiest thing to do is, again, jump back into your Samsung Wear app, and then from here go to your watch settings. And then under here, we were under General. We're going to jump back to General again. And then we were messing around with the keyboard, but right underneath that, you'll see Quick Responses. And under Quick Responses, you can see that I'm on a run. I'll call you back in a bit. I have 17 custom responses right now. I can click on Edit. And then from here, I can even reorder these to whatever I want. So if I like saying much appreciated, you know, a lot more than some of the others, I can move that up to a higher spot. If I go through the list, what else I can do then is I'm going to back out. If I scroll down to the bottom, I can add a response. So I can say whatever I want, like BRB, and then hit save. And what it's actually going to do, and you're limited to 30 characters, so you can't put a ton in there, but it's actually going to take whatever custom response and put it right at the top. And again, I can hit edit and reorder these if I want, but you're allowed to add your own custom responses, which again is just kind of helpful for the quick message responses if you're doing something else and you don't want to type out long messages for the same types of responses over and over and over. So you can also find your watch. If you're charging your watch, if you take it off and you happen to forget where you had it, on the watch you can find your phone, but likewise on your phone, if you've got the Samsung Galaxy wearable app installed on the main dashboard, you'll see watch settings, and then right underneath that is find my watch. So we've got our watch on. Let's go ahead and find it, and as long as it's within Bluetooth range, you can start, and it's going to play a sound to find it. So we were able to find the watch, and we can stop. So if you do happen to misplace your watch, you've got a way of finding it that's quite easy. So let's say you want to play music right from your watch, and what's great about the Galaxy Watch 4 is you don't even have to have your phone with you if you've got music downloaded to the watch. Now you can do this using a service such as like Spotify, or you can actually, if you've got MP3 files, you can transfer those over to the watch as well. Just for quick simplicity, I'm going to show you here Spotify. So we can swipe up from our different apps and you'll see Spotify is installed. Now if you don't have Spotify, you can just go to the Google Play Store, do a search for Spotify, go ahead and install it. Now if this is your first time using headphones with the watch, you're going to want to connect headphones via Bluetooth. And the easiest way that you can do that is actually just pulling down from the top of the screen. You can go into settings, or if you've got it installed on your quick settings here, you should see a little Bluetooth icon. So I've got some Bluetooth headphones here. I'm just going to power on real quick. And I am going to put them into pairing mode, which is just holding the power button down. I can see that it's in pairing mode because it's flashing with red and blue. And then I am going to click the Bluetooth audio button, and it's going to search for Bluetooth available devices. It found those particular Bluetooth headphones, so I'm going to go ahead and click on that. It's going to pair, and it will connect to those particular headphones, and now we can see that it's actually connected. So from this point, if for some reason you don't have that icon, the other thing you can do is just go to your regular settings by clicking the gear icon, and right under connections you can go to Bluetooth, and you can do the same settings here under Bluetooth by just scrolling down. I can also see my connected device. All right, so with my headphones connected, I can then go to an app such as like Spotify, and we'll click on that, and it's going to bring up whatever music I've got loaded from Spotify. And if you want to leave your watch, or if you want to leave your phone at home and just bring your watch, you can load in your account on Spotify. If I swipe to the left, I'll see here more options. So I've got downloads, your library. If I click on downloads, I can actually see I've downloaded 15 songs to the actual watch, and I can tap on those, and then I can just go and start playing them. They're going to start playing on my headphones, and then I can actually control from the watch the volume of what's happening. So in addition to that, if I jump back to, say I haven't downloaded anything yet and you're wondering how to do that, I can go to my library, and then if I've got podcasts, playlists, albums, let's say I click on playlists, and I've got liked songs, I've got fall hits. So there's a playlist here I created, Jeff's Fall DJ Funky Beats. Love it. It's only got 16 songs. You probably want to just keep your playlist somewhat manageable. If the more songs you have, the longer it's going to take to download to your watch. But you'll see the playlist that you have. You can see any of the songs that are going to be in that playlist, and then right at the top here, it's going to say download to watch. So I just told you there's 16 songs. I'll just give you an example here of about how long it takes to download each one of these songs as I'm still talking to you here. So it's just downloaded one song, now 2 songs. So, download 15 songs, it might take maybe 45 seconds to a minute. So if you have like 100 songs, it's going to take you a couple of minutes to download. But once I have this playlist downloaded to the watch, I no longer need to have my phone with me to play these particular songs in this playlist on my watch. We can see here that it is still downloading, but now it has finished. I also have the option where I can remove these from the watch. So if I go to my downloads, I can see I've got 2 different playlists to choose from. And here we go, and I can just tap on any one of these songs, and now I've got all my player controls right here. I can pause, I can play, I can skip tracks, I can even like them if I want, or I can change to a different downloaded playlist, but I'm able to do this without actually having my phone with me. So now that you've got music loaded on your watch, if you've got your tile set up and you want to go for a walk, you'll see that the walk is started from the exercises, and then if I want to listen to some music while I'm, say, going for that walk, I don't know if you caught that, but there was just a little music icon that popped up on the right. I've got all my music or media player controls that I can just easily access by swiping, pulling that from the right side of the screen, figuring out what music I want. I can even control the media volume, and then I can jump back to whatever workout I am doing. You've got this great watch on your wrist, and what's awesome is you can also use either Samsung Pay or Google Pay to make payments right from your wrist, so you can leave your wallet at home, and that is something that's very easy and simple to set up. Again, you can pull up from the bottom of the screen to see all your different apps. Samsung's got their Pay on there. I've actually got everything already through Google Pay, so I'm going to go to the Google Play Store and then search for Google Pay. Google Pay. We're going to go ahead and install that. So Google Pay is installed. I can go ahead and open that up, and if this is my first time, it's going to ask me to enter my card information, and I can just go ahead and set that up. So just letting you know, if you are going to use the payment feature with the watch, this is going to activate some sort of a passcode that you are going to need to enter. The watch is also going to auto lock when you take it off, so just something to be aware of. So you can choose whether you want to do some sort of a pattern to unlock or some sort of a pin. I'm going to go ahead and do a pin. All right, so after pulling up the information from my Google Pay account, it's now got my credit cards that were stored, and they are in the watch. So I can take this to any type of a contactless payment, a Starbucks or other kiosk at a retailer, and pay using the credit card that I have on my Google Pay, or if you're using Samsung Pay, you can pay right from your watch, leave your wallet at home. And because I've got that credit card information stored inside the watch, I will now need to enter my PIN now that I've taken the watch off before I can do anything else. So did you know that your Samsung watch, your Galaxy 4 and Classic, have a SOS or an emergency feature as well as fall detection? And this is something you'll need to set up, but once you have it set up, if you do get into an emergency and you need to contact whoever your emergency contact is, you can set the watch up so that when you press this top button 3 times real fast, it's gonna send that SOS out. 1, 2, 3. Let's see if it actually does it. Sometimes it does take a second here, and you do have to make sure that you do it real quick. But there we go. So I've even set it up where I can cancel it if I want, but in 1 second it is now going to send out an SOS message to actually just set it up to my phone number. But it has sent out this text message to me saying that I need emergency help and that it's being sent from my watch. So with that being said, it will also, if you have the option enabled, send out your location to whoever your emergency contact is, and then they can actually click that link on the text message, and that will take them to a Google map showing them exactly where you are. And I can actually see that it is sending that location now as well. And I'm zoomed way in here, but you can see that it's actually showing my location on the map so that someone else could locate me if need be. So I wasn't quite sure if you activated the SOS feature on the watch, if it would automatically call 911 or like your local police department. It's actually going to contact whoever you have put in as your SOS. So under the Samsung wearable app, you can go to watch settings, and then you want to look for advanced features. And under advanced features, right at the top, you will see SOS. And here you can turn on when the home key is pressed 3 times to contact SOS, or when a hard fall is detected, you can turn those on or off. If you go into these menus even more, it'll actually give you an option here where it'll count down before sending the emergency message, just to give you a chance to cancel. You get 5 seconds to cancel it. With the hard fall, when that's detected, if it senses that you've done a hard fall and you haven't responded for 60 seconds, that's also when it's going to send that SOS. But it does say here that if you're wearing the watch in any high impact activities like sports, sometimes this can register as a fall as well. After a fall, your watch is going to alert you for 60 seconds with a pop-up, and then it will send that notification. You can put in who you want it to send your SOS messages to, and you can add a whole bunch of people if you want. In addition to that, you can have it make an SOS call to whoever you have input here as well. So as I was showing you, it not only sent an SOS message, but it's also sharing my location with my phone of where I happen to be. And this is going to keep sharing that location as long as this SOS is active. To turn this off, you can just tap on this, and then it has the option here to stop sharing. And then it's going to ask you if you really want to stop sharing your location, and now that will stop sharing your location with your emergency contact. And did you know that this video is actually part of a series of videos that I have done on the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4? And if you want to check out some of those other videos, there's going to be cards popping up here at the end of this video, as well as they will be linked down in the description below. This is in addition to all the other smartwatch reviews and videos I've done on this channel. So if you enjoy this type of content and you haven't yet subscribed, take a second right now, hit that subscribe button, that little notification bell so you don't miss any of my weekly videos. My name is Jeff. This is Tinker Forward. I enjoy doing all these videos for you guys every single week, and I appreciate you guys coming back and sticking around. As always, be sure to make every day awesome, and I will see you in the next video.